Okay, so let's talk about it. These weight loss medications, semaglutide, tirzepatide, you hear about them everywhere right now. And honestly, for good reason. The results people are getting are pretty incredible. So it's no surprise that people are getting really curious about what's possible with these powerful new tools.
And that gets people thinking. It leads to this really big question a lot of us are asking. If one of these drugs is so good, what about taking both of them? Could you actually combine them and get even better, faster results? Well, let's dive in and get to the bottom of it.
I mean, it's a totally logical question, right? When you see both of these drugs delivering such amazing results all on their own, of course you're going to wonder. The idea of speeding things up by using these two powerhouses together, yeah, that's definitely an appealing thought.
So you've definitely heard the brand names. We're talking Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and Zepbound. And what's wild is that while they originally came out to treat type 2 diabetes, their impact on weight loss has been an absolute game changer.
Okay, but here's the thing. Before we can even touch that question about combining them, we have to understand how they actually work. The science here is so important, and it all boils down to how they copy hormones that your body already makes. All right. So the key to all of this is a term that sounds super scientific: GLP-1 receptor agonist. I know, it's a mouthful, but the idea is actually pretty simple. These drugs just mimic a hormone we all have called GLP-1, which is what helps tell your brain you're full, slows down how fast your stomach empties, and helps keep your blood sugar in check. And this table, it really lays out the huge difference perfectly. Semaglutide works by targeting that one powerful hormone, GLP-1. But tirzepatide is what's called a dual agonist. It goes after both GLP-1 and a second hormone called GIP. And that two-pronged attack seems to be what gives it a serious edge in the studies.
And look, the results for semaglutide alone are amazing. We're talking up to 15% average body weight loss in the big clinical trials. For so many people, that is absolutely life-changing.
But then you bring in tirzepatide. And remember that dual hormone action we just talked about? Well, that seems to be why the numbers jump way up to as high as 22%. So you can totally see why everyone's so interested in what it can do.
Okay, so seeing those numbers side by side really brings us right back to that first big question, doesn't it? If one gets you 15% and the other gets you 22%, what in the world happens if you put them together? It's time to get the direct medical answer. So what's the verdict from the medical community? Well, it's a very straightforward, very simple no. Combining these medications is not recommended, and we're about to break down exactly why.
So let's get right into the why. First off, like we just saw, they both hit that same GLP-1 pathway. You're not really adding a new benefit, you're doubling down on the same mechanism. And that leads right to the next point. Doing that dramatically increases your risk of side effects. It doesn't actually lead to better or faster weight loss, just a lot more risk. And maybe the most important point of all, the FDA has absolutely not approved these to be used together.
And when we say increased risks, what are we actually talking about? Well, it could mean much more severe nausea and vomiting, serious digestive problems like diarrhea or constipation, and even a dangerous drop in blood sugar, which is called hypoglycemia. And on top of all that, because nobody has studied this, the long-term safety concerns are a complete mystery.
Okay, so hearing all that might make you wonder, wait a minute, are these drugs safe at all, even when you use them correctly by themselves? It's a really fair question, so let's clear that up right now.
And the answer is a resounding yes. When they're prescribed by a doctor and used the right way, these GLP-1 drugs are considered very safe and incredibly effective. But the key phrase there, the one you can't forget, is under proper medical supervision. This is not something you should ever try on your own. And that's why the supervision part is so important. Because these medications are definitely not for everybody. For example, if you have a history of pancreatitis, or certain thyroid cancers run in your family, or if you have severe GI issues, or if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, these probably aren't the right option for you. Which really brings us to the conversation we should be having. It's not about stacking these drugs. It's all about finding the one that is the absolute best fit for you and your body. So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. The goal should never, ever be about combining. It should always be about choosing. And that choice is a super personal decision that you can only make with a doctor who really gets your health history and your goals. And this is a really helpful way to think about how that choice might be made. You can see semaglutide as a great starting point for many people. It's been around longer, it's widely available.
Tirzepatide might come into the conversation if you're dealing with more stubborn weight, or maybe if you've already tried a GLP-1 like semaglutide and just didn't get the results you and your doctor were hoping for.
At the end of the day, it really just comes down to this simple fact. Picking the right medication is all about what works for your unique body, your personal health story, and what you're trying to achieve down the road. There's just no such thing as a one-size-fits-all solution here.
You know, we are just at the beginning of what this class of medication can do. It's really incredible. So the big question I want to leave you with is this. As these tools get even better and more advanced, how are they going to completely change our whole approach, not just to weight, but to our overall long-term health?